first ball here. Impalas. The Impalas on the ground. Ball comes out there from Temple. Looking back. Going to the boot, keeping this one downfield. Hot day out there. We'll talk a Lance about that in just a second, but 93 degrees in Austin right now with not much of a breeze, not too much humidity, but 43% still will get you going. And it is now Tridents ball. Tridents. Ball back, looking out wide here. Into the hand, to the ground they go. Ball out to the left-hand side. Big runners on the wing there. Ball back across. Little run. Continuing the move here. Good first bit of work. Looking for the inside there. Work into that ruck. First penalty of the game. They're going to be looking straight for post there. Tridents. First mistake.
This is probably
right
This
away.
is probably the best start that Indy could have for themselves. Putting pressure on Miami. Miami Tridents making, from my understanding of watching them over the last couple of years, being able to follow them in the state of rugby, uncharacteristic mistakes, not playing to the structure. They've been known to get off to fantastic starts early in games and still have the heart to compete late in games. Miami making mistakes, getting penalties, especially in kicking range. Indy is a team of heart themselves, and the longer you keep a team like Indiana into games, the more dangerous they become. The Tridents of Miami on the screen, you see Blake. He has been a staple here in Florida playing and working to be a professional rugby player. Definitely someone who respects the discipline of rugby, and that kick is no good. Nice break for Miami early on after the penalty.
First kick. Will Nelson and Jason Bramow are your assistant referees with Khalil Harrison today. So Indy's first shot at goal doesn't go. 2 minutes 40 in. Lance, this 93 degree up for the Northeast, right? So I think it's obviously going to be handled better by the Miami team. What kind of effect is this going to have for us today?
Well, really, we'll see the effect of that matchup after the second half. In the first half, both teams are playing on such emotion and such pride of the circumstances. You might see them be able to fake it till they make it, seeing the heat and how it applies to the game. But really, we'll see that come into effect later in that second half when you've been out there for 60 plus minutes on the field underneath a very unforgiving and blistering sun.
Players getting rounded up there. Like Karada. 5-player lineout coming for Indy. Little fake there. It gets it up in the air, down in the hands of Nick Schroeder. Run into the middle there. Doesn't really fool anybody, but they've got a platform to work off. A ball comes out here from Temple. Forwards there. They're just inside their own half. Where do you think it's going? They're going to go to the boot again. Early territory game here, trying to keep Miami moving around the field. Ball goes back. Fran Perello to take that one down. Puts it towards touch. Will he find it? Does. We're going to have another line out here. Both these teams just feeling each other out a bit, Lance.
Definitely early on. Indy playing into the kicking game. It's a second kick by Indy. They want to play inside of Miami's half. But this Trident side can play that kicking game. They have very well adjusted players, can bring the noise. Well, I'm going to see big things from how Indy plays as the game goes on. Make sure you keep an eye out on the small king wing, Brendan Goodnight, and Miami with their traditional coach's attire, long sleeve shirts, tie and shorts. Gotta love to see that.
Yankees have part of that attire. An interesting one there. Rooting for the Yankees. Good man. Ball comes out. This is Temple. Temple looking for a runner. Fills that ball back and went backwards. Referee said that's fine. Miami pounces on it. Referee good to go. Player down in the back there for Indy. So they're one player short. They've come around no problem. Ball's out, but that time penalty. Player coming in an angle. Referee Khalil Harrison spots it. It's going to be a Trident penalty. Still 0-0, 5 minutes gone. We're going to stop time here just to bring in the medical staff here as somebody's down and somebody's out of uniform.
One guy out of uniform. But look at this is the traditional Miami Trident garb. They have the ties that match the team color. They wear the shorts, long sleeve shirts, and for a 90+ degree day for them to be in long sleeves, the dedication isn't just the players on the field, even the coaching staff stepping up to the challenge of dealing with this heat.
Yeah, I see a player back there. Looks like it just took a little shot to the knee or something there. A little slow to get up. See how this works out.
Trip.
Seems to be John Anari there, the number 10, has been limping just a bit during the game, as we saw. Right there, just injured. We'll see if he can stay on. It looks like he is coming off the field. Big early loss there for the Indian Impalas. They're going to want to keep as many of those starters in the field as they can for the time. See if the coach is just walking them off. A lot of these players, Lance, from India. A lot of high school rugby out here. Royal Irish Rugby, Brownsburg High School, Carmel High School, a lot of Marion High School, a lot of Indiana-based teams here. So good experience throughout the team. Guys have probably known each other for a long time. So we'll see how that camaraderie kind of works out. As on the penalty, Miami launches one downfield. It'll be their attacking line about 10 meters out.
Yeah, the Indiana Midwest region has a very strong high school. We talk high school presence, Penn High School as well. And not only that, the community of this Indy team, they come in with this belief that they can win any game they're in, and they have an underdog approach, even though they've had success in the Midwest and in the Northern Regional in Indianapolis.
Player goes up early there for Indy. To get this started, it's going to be Luis Lucas, old man Lou as he calls himself, to take this one in. Miami Tridents beats NOLA 29-26 to get here after beating Atlanta all white. Went 8-0 in their league season. Players just having a little chat here. Yanis Mazuz, as Miami goes to the middle of the lineup there. Ball's down, maul started. Indy players on the ground trying to sack that one. Another player having some issues here. Over on the side there for Indy. Is that space open? They are looking, and Marcos Escobar, the number 9, looking to dig that ball out. And another penalty. Miami trying to dig this one out. There's a penalty, maybe a scrum here. We'll see what Khalil Harrison calls the referee. Certainly an experienced ref. It's a penalty here for the Tridents. They do not look as though they want to go to post, Lance. These boys want to play. Set move coming. They call the scrum. Keep everybody confused. And Anari is definitely down. He's going to be coming out of the game. You can see he's pretty upset there.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the worst feelings to build to this point of your season, and within the first 10 minutes, unable to complete the task. But this Miami Trident side, especially on set-piece attacks, are one of the most dangerous teams on the D2 level and could put a hurting on a lot of the D1 teams here in this nation. Watch out for this back line who plays with tremendous speed.
Nari, an 8th grade math teacher. Bloomington High School is where he played at Indiana University, so best of luck to him. Unfortunately coming out of the game, but now we're back in this one. Another penalty, not releasing against Indy. Khalil Harrison is going to get worn down by these multiple penalties inside the 22 by this Indian Impalas team, and Miami decides to go for the post and put those 3 points on the board.
Yeah, not rolling away early on by the tackler, and they just run a simple hit up with a loop option there. Unfortunately, the guy that was part of the tackle is impeding the support player from Miami. And the Indy guy was right over the top of the ball. You see, he thinks he's innocent, which he is, but that not rolling away just compounds things. Khalil, in the middle referee, very experienced, one of the higher level referees in the United States, works all over the United States and was right on top of that. And Miami Tridents are going to take this 3 points and set right back up to go on attack.
It's just so split second, Lance. You know, that tackler goes in. That guy thought he was not the tackler, so he had rights to the ball. But he was actually inside of the tackle, not allowing him to play it, not allowing the player to place the ball, to have to roll away. So it got called for holding on there, and the kick is going to come here, and the kick is going to be good, and it's 3-0. Matthew Meyerowitz scores that one, so 3-0 to the Miami Tridents in this D2 semifinal. As we said, winner takes on the winner of the Boston Irish Wolfhounds and the Oceanside Chiefs, taking place right now.
Marowitz is a feature down here in Florida, did big work in College for Life University, has been leading the show for the Tridents over the course of this season. Very potent attack. Indy, defensively strong, find ways to get points. Let's see if they can get points back and overtake this deficit they're in.
Miami opts for touch. Should be a line out here for the Indian Impalas. Indian Impalas need to get a little offense. We're 9 minutes into this game. Sam Wells there getting himself set. Another 5-player line out. Isaac Good in the background. Would love to get his hands on the ball out there with Good. See where they go. Multiple options here. They go to the front. Switch and go to the middle. Ball over the top, however, winds up in the hands of one of the loose forwards. Little pop play. Well done. Now the Impalas on the absolute charge here after a little miscue with the line out. That ball doesn't quite go where they want it to. They've got a replacement in at 10 with Inari off the field, and it just didn't come to hand. So we're going to have a scrum here for the Miami Tridents.
And this is a confidence moment for Miami. Off of the scrum, we're able to get a penalty right directly in front of the sticks. Last time they had a scrum down. This time in a pretty decent attacking position. We'll see if they go to swiper's kick or do they kick right out of the first receiver's hand. But an incredible opportunity for them. This can really set the precedent and set the table for the rest of the matchup for the Tridents. Indy unable to convert on their own line out and get into multiple phases.
Look at Zach Marsh here, the 23-year-old out of Indiana University. Runner-up in the Collegiate Rugby Championships. Ball out here to Miami. Miami wants to run. A little pass there, but doesn't quite go. Escobar to get the offload at the end. Escobar, live wire scrum half. Ball goes into touch. Should be Indy ball. Indy will get a line out just inside the half. Escobar a little chippy. We're going to come back to the knock on there to be a scrum for the Indy Impalas.
And I mean, the skills are there for Miami, as you can see. They run a definite set piece to the open side, drawing pass. That out of the back pass was incredible. But even this one, off of the knees, flicks the ball up. But that outside defense for Indy is swarming. Defense has been strong for them over the course of the year as well.
Indy right on halfway, full side of the field open. Ball slips for Temple there. Temple in a bit of trouble. He's been put back about 10 meters. Big pressure coming off from the Tridents at this ruck. Coming around, they do and clean it right up. Impalas looking for somebody to distribute this ball. Back in, puts it to the boot. Downfield, right into the hands of one of the Miami Trident back three. On the move they come. That's the fullback, Perello. Perello taking the contact. Touch again. Just working towards that touch line is Miami, and a couple times it's cost them, turning over the ball to the Indianapolis lineout.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. Indy having so much pressure, having to choose to slow it down and kick over the top. Miami had a player there, but unfortunately couldn't retain possession. And that's just great play from both sides. Able to absorb the pressure by Indy. Tremendous defensive pressure from the Tridents. And Indy answering back in kind, getting that ball carrier out of bounds. Early start to the physicality, John.
This 5-person multi-option lineout. They go right to the middle this time. Not straight, however, you can see it. Great camera angle there. And an option here for the Tridents. We'll see if they choose scrum or lineout. Have a scrum at the 15-meter line there. Great attacking opportunity for them. Wide open field, some very strong runners out there. See what option they choose.
I end up covering this Miami Trident team for the Florida State Championship. And set piece open side is one of their strengths, especially when they're passing from the right hand. We could see a setup play where they go out of the back behind the 13 to the 10. And if he loops around, it can be real dangerous for any team here in this D2 level.
Move that one out. Meyerowitz has a hold of the ball. Looking at a skip pass there. Right through a hole they go. They've got some speed. Good run there from Perello. Gets it out wide. Winger headed towards the line. Turns back in. Blake Peretta. Peretta touches down. A try here for Miami. Extended to 8-0.
And that's Blake going in, getting 5 points for this Miami Trident side. Set piece, open field for the Miami Tridents has worked in bunches for them over the course of their season. Undefeated coming into this matchup, and it's set up in sequences like this, finding that space in between the outside center and the winger, and there's just nothing that can be done once that line is broken. Fundamentally sound. They have multiple players in that back line who can play first receiver, who can distribute, and it sets them up beautifully with an early lead, adding to that 3 points they got from the penalty.
Those were just players just hitting the line with pace right there. They had the one runner coming in, just holding a couple defenders, got it outside. Streaming fullback coming onto that in Francisco Perello. No problem. And kick to come here would extend the lead to 10. Was pressure on it, but it is good. So we're at 10-0 with just 15 minutes gone here in this first half. The Impalas need to answer quickly here. Miami Trident looking strong.
And this might be one of the stronger forward packs that the Tridents have went up against for the year. What better time? National semis. Indy has found ways to get points through grit, determination, defensive strength. But when you're playing against a team that can explode for points like the Tridents, it becomes danger every set piece.
Indy decides to go long. Early step there. Look at this break. There is green grass and one defender to beat. Accelerate, looking to get through the middle. Can anyone stop him? Finally, Perello is taken down just about 10 meters out. Gets a little more ground. They're coming across. They've got some runners. There's some players out in the width. No need, says Mauro Pettinari. He is right under the sticks. Answering a try with a try is Miami, 2 in a row.
And just like that, going right back again. They've done this multiple times to multiple teams. You let Miami Tridents get momentum and confidence, they become dangerous. Open field, Francisco says, take this step and watch me rep. Slowing down, looking around, tempo runs, tries to get back inside and just barely tripped up by the help defense. It takes multiple players from Indy to bring him down and keep him from going, but by that time, the Impalas defensive line is absolutely in shambles, and they play with such speed that if you aren't hustling to get back defensively, they don't have to score in the first phase. They can score in the second, third. They can play sideline to sideline. Danger moment for Indy. Their defense has to step up for them.
That kick is good as well. It is now 17-0 Miami over Indy in the first half here. Just 17 minutes gone. Another look at the run, Lance.
And it's the confidence of this Miami Trident team. If they find a space, all these players have been given the green light to play what's in front of them. And in moments like this, if you get guys like Francisco being confident, he'll kill you right now. He might get a line break now that sets up a try, but wait till the 60th minute. Wait till deeper in that second half when he really gets going.
Perello, Argentinian-born player. Another longer kick. Miami just keeping that ball alive there. Ball back from Escobar. Pressure forced him to go a little high with that one. Indy, little slip of the ball there. Indy needs something in a hurry. Indy does not need to pass to the other team. Another try might be on the offer there. That looked like it went forward, but the Miami Tridents have it. Referee said it was off the foot there, so they can keep going. That's Yanis Mazuz take it down. Tight head prop. Velasquez has it. Velasquez gets the one of the big boys. Quadrito knocks it on. First mistake there from the Tridents. Twisted a knee a bit in the process. Going to be a scrum here deep inside their own zone for the Indian Impalas. It was almost another try for this Miami Tridents juggernaut.
And looks like Indy has found themselves just making mistakes early on. That offload, quite a bit dangerous, especially after the drop kick here. He was able to get around, but no need to get that offload away. You had players, you had tempo. And for Khalil to be on top of that, to know that that was off the foot and didn't touch hand is more impressive on the referee. You got to show love to that, keeping this play going fairly. And again, Miami, as you see, they already set up. They have numbers on the bottom of the screen. If that ball could have went to hand, and even if that tackle on the ruck was set, they still had danger on either side. Could have went either way. Indy getting off the field without getting up points is a big moment for them, but they have to clear their lines right here.
Quadrito, they call him Winnie, seems to be okay wearing the number 1 jersey. coming in here from Indy, deep inside their own zone. See what kind of pressure Miami can put on it. Ball back. Remember, they lost their starting fly half, so a little bit of indecision creeps in for Indy back there. But a penalty off a high tackle. Nothing illegal in it, but it has to come down. Referee Harrison tells the Miami Tridents that, so opportunity here for this Indy team.
And one thing also that needs to be noted, I said I commentated Miami Tridents in the Florida State Championship. They have been known to get up big early on teams. If you let them get confidence and rolling, they had 28 points in the Florida Conference Championship within the first 20 minutes of the game. They are a team that as soon as the snowball gets rolling downhill, they will avalanche the scoreboard, have you underneath a deficit that's hard to get over. But this Indy team is tough.
Right now, they're a snowball on a 93-degree day and doing pretty well with it. Able to keep cold as Indy has to go to a pot of forwards here. They're deep inside their zone. Put that ball back. Looking for the boot here. They go a little bit longer. Trying to find touch, slow things down. Haven't found it. Probably don't want to kick to Perello. Perello has been outstanding in these first few minutes. Look at that switch, reversed in the field. Unbelievable. Great work at the ball to Sam Wells. Sam Wells at number 7. Has Luis Lucas on there. Escobar trying to get a hold of it. Referee says, that's fine, that's a turnover. Indy can have that ball. It was done legally. Blocked there from the Tridents. Billy. Oh, player came in offsides. Looked like a pretty impressive block. What a line they just ran back there, Lance.
The cohesion of this Trident team, even though the turnover was made and Indy now has an opportunity to gain meterage, off of that kick, you do not want this man to have space. He already burned them earlier off of a kickoff. He's just buying his time, trying to find help. And look at the angle that they're running on. Could be a tad bit forward, who knows? But I love to see that kind of, and I love to see that kind of intuition. Yeah. I love to see that in rugby, though. Love to see that. He had to lean on his ARs to make that forward call, so let it play.
And we're going to a hydration break here on this very hot day in Austin. Everybody, including your commentators, needs a bit of water. Step aside for just a second. The rest of the first half after this.
To understand the game in its fullest, you need to understand what's happening to the ball.
Gilbert is synonymous with every major event that's happened in our sport.
The ball is a conductor of the orchestra. We put a tiny microchip inside the ball. We're getting location information from the ball, speed, spin, distance, trajectory, hang time.
The technology and the innovation behind this ball is truly a game changer.
When we pick up the ball, we also pick up a legacy. A legacy that stretches beyond your current team. A legacy built on the backs of those who came before you with hard work. And for those who will come after you, we promise it won't be easy. But we'll be there, supporting you on and off the field.
Hydration break is over. It is at the halfway line, Indy ball. They trail. They need some work here. That is going to help a little bit. Well, the referee blows his whistle, and it's a knock-on. It's going to be a scrum here for Miami. Ready, just trying to pull some rabbits out of the hat is Indy.
You can't blame them. They're going to try everything possible. This Indy side won their semifinal match in the Northern Super Regional on a penalty try with no time left on the clock. They have been the cardiac kids of this year, playing a very strong Denver team, taking them to the absolute limbs and winning that game at the end. This Indy team is going to fight for a full 80, but hopefully this weather doesn't impede that process just too much, because I want to see a classic matchup.
Escobar gets that one in. Miami, a little pressure coming from Indy this time. Ball out into the hands of Meyerowitz. Meyerowitz puts it to the boot. Up to the hot air of Austin. Ball back there. No room to run here. This time it's Myrowitz. Myrowitz switches a player back in. Tackle coming in eventually. Trying to dig it out of there are the Indy Impalas. They have runners set to go. It looks like the try scorer Petnari, but he's got players coming by him. Escobar trying to dig that one out. Eventually it's going to be a penalty. Players just not coming away from the ball there for Indy. So opportunity for the Tridents. We'll see what they decide to do. Up 17-0, 23 minutes into this first half.
Another piece that's not much known about the Tridents is their forward pack has a rolling maul that has been dangerous for them throughout the year. I mean, we're talking about a team on every discipline who have the ability to create threats. I can see a rolling maul situation set up for them now. As you can see, the big guys are conversating and getting ready.
I haven't seen much of the Tridents, Lance, so I've just been impressed with the silky speed and transitions in their back line there. So we'll see what their forwards have now. Trusting you for the expertise as Great American Rugby. Line out here for the Tridents. Go to the back to Rafael Serrano. Serrano comes down, and indeed they do go to the maul, but Indy reads it pretty well. Players coming in from the side right there for Indy, so another penalty for the Tridents.
They're going to go maul shopping. Oh, they're going for points. The decision has been made. Going for penalties twice early in his half. Yeah, man.
Just trying to reserve some energy, get the points where they can have them. Taking some time off the clock. Will be somewhere around 25 minutes gone. This is done. All his coaches, Evan Roberts, Chaz Banks, Austin Antonio. Sorry, and Tony looking on from the touchline here at the Round Rock Multi-Purpose Center. USA Club Rugby Weekend Club National Championship 15s on the Rugby Network all weekend. We'll bring you championship matches tomorrow, but right now Myrowitz, a life grad and a Florida native, hangs one up there, but is not going to find it. So 22 drop for Indy. Bezveriki, stalwart player there for the Tridents. You got to look at him in the number 6 jersey. All back. Trident, will give and go. Looking for some space, trying to spin through it. Middle of the field, they got some runners. Big tackle coming in there from Indy. Had to stem the tide. Player, would have coming inside, but no problem. Escobar. Whistle it. There was a knock on in there, so it's going to be a scrum here for the Indy Impalas. 26 minutes gone.
Unable to grab that clean. And one thing, I don't know, you guys just heard the audio, but as that Indy team were celebrating that knock on, you can hear players say, "Wake up." Even they understand that they aren't playing to the circumstances that they're in. They haven't really found their stride. Miami is just all forwards attack, unrelenting speed. Now Indy has a chance, but do they play for territory with a deficit that they have, or do they attack from where they are now? These are the questions.
Michael Temple puts it in. Nick Schroeder, at the back there. Temple moves it. Middle of the field. What are they going to do? They're just going to keep ball in hand. Center there. Step into that first receiver role. Ryan Barton. Head of steam here for Indy. Needs some momentum, needs some tries. They're going to put that one through, but it is blocked by the Tridents. Tridents still alive with that one. Put the ball up in the air. They're going to go for the step here. They are elusive. Look at that footwork. Great teamwork to get that there as the ball comes out. Nari steps into the distributor role. As Verke does the hard yards in there. Now they go wide, but good tackle slows them down for this Indy team. Players discussing where the best barbecue is in Austin right there. Box kick to come. Indy. Ball at the back now. Steps getting across the 40-meter line. Need to get the momentum back. Quick ball would be a help for them. Finland tight. Left, little pop pass. Can he get the ball free? He can. Is there a good burst coming speed here? Coming across the cover are the Tridents. Players wind up colliding. We're going to come back for a penalty here against the Tridents. Indy ball. Opportunity for them to put it down in that end. 17 points down. Wouldn't think they'd go for posts.
That was almost silky. That was almost silky just a little bit with the kick over the top. But look at the offloads and the big collision to end that forward progress by Indy. And you can just see both teams are just playing with absolute heart. You got players who on the wrong side getting pushed and moved out the way. You got to love the pressure of the moment. Looks like he tried to milk a call, but there is no cows on the field. Referee is not having any of it.
Yeah, those are the two I was saying we're scrapping a bit there. Just discussing the best barbecue in Austin right now. Not really worried about the game. The ball is going to come here, forced from to Indy. Indy the Impalas. Impalas said beat the Denver Barbarians for the Northern Super Regional 21-14. After beating Kansas City, a last-second penalty try. Ball up the middle now. Here come the Impalas. Impalas. Taken to the ground. Temple. To the ball. Sending one of the big boys in. And working with the big fellas, but it gets spilled forward. Knock on either way. Come back to the first one. It'll be a scrum for Miami here. Referee Khalil Harrison right on the spot. Having a wonderful game so far. Good control, letting the game flow.
I mean, this game has had so many different bits of emotion. You got two players who are agreeing and hanging out, two phases and set pieces before they're arguing, scrapping, and fighting. I mean, you got to love championship rugby. The semifinals means a lot to both of these teams, especially for the Tridents, who were at this very moment last year losing to Boise in the semifinals. They want their chance at a national championship.
They're just getting back together. Starting to get some hotter afternoon heat. Particularly go up from 93 a little bit here. So a lot of work to do. Look at Denari. Escobar. Big push coming from the Tridents. Can they get a penalty here? They have done. They're going to come out to this right-hand side. Ball's going to sail over the wing. Back here, it seems as if it's going to be a penalty to the Tridents at the scrum there. They just drove the Impalas off and got their just rewards. They should be able to push this one downfield as well. Conversation here. Morello has ball in hand. If I was a defense from Indy, I'd keep a good eye on him. Move a player down in the back here. Referee has time off just to let them take a look here. Tough fella. I'm sure he's going to be okay.
Absolutely. And you gotta show respect to this Indy side because they had to go through an absolute fight. They're the team that took out last year's national champions, Denver Barbos, in the Super Regional Final. They're the squad ready to put on display for Indy. They've done a lot so far as the community. They've done a lot to really showcase themselves in the state of Indiana. They've made this state very proud, the Midwest very proud representing. But right now they're facing the monsters of South Florida. And they are unrelenting. Indy needs to find a way to get points on the board. And they usually sneak points in right before half against teams to put themselves in good position for second half.
We'll see about 50 minutes for the Indy Impalas to wake up, as Lance was saying. You heard him talking there. The dreaded let's wake up call. Ball up, well taken by Miami in the middle of the field. Dangerous runners. Ball to Nicholas Lane. Try to get that through there, but it doesn't work. Loose ball comes out here to Indy. Indy. As elusive as their players can be, Miami seems to have just a bit more. Trying to win that ball. Advantage here on the original knock-on from referee Harrison, so we're going to bring that all the way back.
And I can just see Indy, you see their heads hanging low a little bit. It seems as though they just didn't get their morning Folgers. They didn't get the Starbucks in the morning. They haven't found that jolt of electricity in their soul. Of any moment to treat this game with love and passion, it's got to be semifinals. I'm waiting for this Indiana side to really showcase what they've done over the course of the year, beating very good teams to get where they're at now.
Surprise there. There's some great coffee in Austin. I can attest to that. This town has some wonderful places. Ball here for Indy. Indy coming out to the right-hand side. It's shaping the kick, but running through the middle. That hole finally opens up. The tackle doesn't quite get there. Escobar holding on. Can they get this one wide? Cannot find it. A little switch back in. Going to get it back in his hands. Slipped away there for Ryan Barton. Everything looked good till that last second. Such a good pass to play, and just what they needed. Sorry, it was Sean Grenfell. Knocked that one on. Unfortunate for Grenfell, the Spanish-born player. Cardiff Met. Taking a look here, Lance.
And now we're seeing life. Look at good night. Inside-out move, the offload on the way down. And the pass might not have been there, but it was there. And if that ball right there goes to hand, there is no doubt in my mind that Indy will have at least 5 points on the board. That was extremely catchable. The circumstances called for a clean catch. And unfortunately, when the time was necessary, unable to get 2 hands on the ball. And goodness gracious, Indy have shown a little bit. Finally, the jolt in their spirit. Finally, a little bit of incentive, a little bit of tempo. But man, the Tridents get a lucky break because that should have been points. Indy now has the Tridents pinned deep. The Tridents have already got the play called in. They're going to kick for territory here and try to get away from their own lines. But man, amazing bit of play from Indy right there.
Yeah, very good. You can see the heat just kind of sapping here. These players are pretty warm at the moment. Referees having a conversation with the Tridents. Clock has stopped just under 5 minutes to go in this first half. Boston Irish Wolfhounds versus Oceanside Chiefs on the other field in the second half. These games start staggered, so we'll know by this second half who's going to play. Just get a word, 25-20 Wolfhounds. Just a few minutes to go in that one over there. So we will see how that wraps up. And some exciting games here today in Round Rock. USA Club Rugby's Club National Championships 15s for 2024. Tomorrow, D3, D2, D1 championships, D2 and D1 for the women as well. Right now, the Tridents near their own line. Drawn a scrum penalty already with a very powerful push there. See if Indy can answer right now. Would do them a lot of favors. They're trying to get another one of the Tridents. Ball's at the back. Manuel Kraus. Manu Kraus has it. Another penalty here against Indy. Or kind of driving inwards there at the scrum. Maybe a penalty. Miami chance to push this one away.
Indiana got to make sure that they don't get frantic. 17 points is a lot, but it's not insurmountable. You still got to play to yourself. You still got to play within the system that got you at this point, and maybe even trust their system more. These are the real times you have to lean into what you guys have worked on in the training ground and what's found you success throughout the year.
Miami taking their time. Right at halfway here. 6 minutes to go in this first half. They go to the tail of the line out. Like a dart it gets there from Luis Lucas. In the middle of the field they go. Nice little pop passes. Nearly get Perello open again. That could have been dangerous. Ball bouncing around. A referee blows his whistle finally. Back to call here. And a penalty against, it looked like for Chat, an initial penalty, not a second penalty as that is sometimes, Lance. I guess Khalil Harrison getting a little bit tired of the Indy chat.
I mean, can you blame him? You got to knock on a situation. The ball's flimsy going around. He blows it up like he's supposed to. Who knew that the ball would be kicked out after so many people going in for it? And Indy are losing their wits. Instead of having the ball now for a scrum, they're giving a team with confidence the ability to now maul within their own 22. Uncharacteristic and undisciplined. They're going to pay for it if they don't button up and focus right now.
Another Miami attack. Officially 5 minutes to go in the first half on the game clock. They go to the tail. They get the ball up there to Torres Garcia. They call him Gonza. 22. Indy trying to stem the tide here. Miami trying to get some cushion points here before going in for the water break. Would do them a lot of good. Another penalty against Indy. Haven't seen a card yet, but referee Harrison, you can see from his motions, getting just a little tired of this.
Consecutive penalties while down 17 points are an absolute backbreaker.
Perello just nudges it in a touch, but plenty of room there. Perello, an outstanding player in shot right there so far this game. Tridents forwards, another opportunity to rumble here. They're just 5 meters out from the line.
And be reminded that they forced a penalty earlier to get the first 3 points of the game off of a set piece inside the 5.
Ball trailed across, the winds up in Serrano. They have to take it to the ground. Ross, little move out back into Perello's hands. Get a runner coming from the inside there. Is there room out wide? Escobar finds it. It's a 1-on-2. Can he get through? A big man coming. That is Nicholas Lane. Did he get through and onto the ground? Looks like it was held up. Referee has called it so. A goal line dropout here for the Impalas.
It looked like Good Night was underneath that. Looked like Good Night was underneath that. Kept it from going to the way that the Tridents would like.
Tridents on the move. Nice little step inside. He is something to handle, Perello. It is Meyerowitz. Meyerowitz gives it away kindly. Second try for Mauro Pettinari and the Miami Tridents. With 3 minutes to go before halftime, move the score up to 22.
The most dangerous team in open space in this D2 club championship weekend, again showing you that if your defensive line isn't connected, you aren't bringing players who are communicating and together, the space will open up and you will find yourself with big issues. This was a one-on-one between a fullback and a front row player, essentially. He's going to make that work 100% of the time, it seems like, especially on a day like today. South Florida heat and South Florida speed out here in Texas. And again, try number 2 as the Tridents are rolling on Indy, finding themselves doing undisciplined things and being punished for just that.
My place to Indy in the second half is stop kicking to Perello. Don't get that ball. If you're going to put the ball back there, look for the train tracks. Put it towards the touchline. Kick to come here from Meyerowitz. Is good. Another 2 points on there. 24 points for the Miami Tridents in this D2 semifinal. We'll take another look. Great one, Lance Kavanaugh.
The space is there. You got to pass the ball twice after a turnover. One hop step off the left. And the offload there, and there's Trident players in bunches just in support. This team has found a way to find continuity in all types of situations. And try number 2 for that man. He has been putting his implant on the game.
Lead change on the other, 27-25 to the Oceanside Chiefs. There's 9 minutes left in that game. Irish Wolfhounds trail by 2 from Boston. In this game, here come Indy Impalas. Indy Impalas, 30 seconds to go on the game clock here in the first half. Temple trying to dig that one out. Doesn't quite come out the way he wants to, but Nick Schroeder's going to take it in. Stable at the back there is Schroeder. Driving up the side, Indy Impalas. 10 seconds to go on the game clock. Going to use some points, certainly before halftime. Breaking up the middle there across the 22. And they withstand these quick pick and drives. They need the points. They're coming wide a little bit here. Ball intercepted by a Trident there. Really missing Jonathan Anari right now. Players trying to get away. Keeping himself alive. With a little pop up there. Looked like it was knocked on. It certainly was. Referee spots it. A scrum here for Indy. We're at time of the game clock, just in referee's time for the first half. And instead, that will be our halftime. It is a big lead for the Trident of Miami. We're going to be back to see if Indy can cut into that. We're going to step away at halftime here from Round Rock, Texas. Wait for us just a few minutes. We'll bring you a second half.
Oceanside can do that with a 2-point lead. You can see him here. No reason to rush. Now finally the kick coming. When gonna go into touch. They were thinking about maybe the quick line out. But Boston will just hold as that defender came flying up to stop that attack. Now the quick wasn't 5 though, so I think we'll just come back.
We're just gonna set for a line out, okay? It's worth the try. It was.
So we go back here and take a look. You see, here comes that big run. And see him right there. He's going to come through, reach over the top, and he just squirts out right there, right into his hands. Great job handling that. What a huge turnover there.
Looked like he had some sticky on his hands, how he grabbed that with one paw. Lineout was a little messy, but Irish Wolfhounds come down with it. They go right up the middle. They've been doing that forward pod all day, sucking in those defenders. Pass not to hand, and now Oceanside picks it up. They've also got scrum advantage. They're going to come back for it. My goodness. 5 minutes left in this game, and Oceanside have crawled their way back from a 20-10 deficit at halftime.
Time off.
Here, that breakdown, that ball goes out. You can see it doesn't go to hand, just a wayward pass. And unfortunately, when he tries to get it, he loses it right into the hands of the Oceanside Chiefs, breaking through. And they're going to call him for that initial knock-on as well. They come back. So I think, you know, the Wolfhounds, if they can get through the phases and get the Chiefs to give up a penalty, they've got a shot at goal. You can't get too frantic. You're only down 2. A penalty wins you the game. And so I know you're down. I know there's less than 10 minutes left, but keep the composure. Working through the phases, try to draw a penalty, and see if something opens up for you to score. It's the Chiefs put in now, so that's a moot point at this point. They got to get the ball back if they're going to do anything.
Yep, they'd have to get the ball back, and we haven't seen any stolen scrums today. Everybody's been keeping their own ball, so it's unlikely to happen here.
Here we go, boys. Here we go. Crouch!
Big scrum for Oceanside. Again, they're going to want to work this clock as we move into the 76th minute. Going to go to the weak side. Just taking it right in, sucked both of those defenders in. Poach attempt from Green, told to hold off. Now the forwards will go to work for the Chiefs. And again, another pod. Flat ball, and releasing out to the edge to the replacement, Ortega. He's caught from behind, but Oceanside on the front foot. Boston having to track back in defense. Good job to keep that bouncing ball under control for the Chiefs. Now they've got a mismatch on the left side. Here comes the defense. Wow, what a pass that is. Anosa Jr. is going to jog this one in as the Chiefs. Ooh, goodness, that's tricky. Trying to get a better kick. It's smart play, but made my heart skip a beat there. This is important for the kick, but wow, what a play there by the Chiefs to extend their lead.
You can hear the hearts of the Wolfhounds fans breaking right now. They're going to work this through the hands, draw the two defenders, get the ball out, and they know, you can see the body language, no one behind. He's been kicking them true. Oh boy, that pass. That would have, like you said, if I was the coach, I'd have been like, what are you doing? Just score it. Now up by a converted try. If he hits this up by more than a converted try with only about 2 minutes remaining, he's going to take all of the kick clock to get this one through.
Yeah, this kick, if made, will make it a 2-score game, which would be very difficult. But, you know, this is my first comeback of the weekend. I've been lucky to be on all the games where there's been a comeback from the teams, but this would be the first one that they've actually made it over and had the comeback come true. Feel for Boston, they've led, but, I mean, it's unanswered points. They've only scored 5 points in the second half.
Yeah, second half, 22-5. Right now, could be 24-5 with this kick.
And he made one from there earlier and does it again. He's going to be the champion, the hero tonight, Anosa Jr. Just getting it done when it counts. Chiefs 34, Boston 25. Less than 2 minutes to go in this game. Clutch kick.
Ice in his veins right there. Boy, just a dagger in the heart of the Wolfhounds. Like we said last year, they had their hearts broken 15-12, and this one they're going to, oh, but this is exactly what they need, regaining possession right here.
They do. We get the kick, their own kick, but then just a tiny knock on there, just kind of throwing it around, getting a little bit out of their shape almost, it feels like. And this is just going to feed into the clock.
It's so hard to get to this point in your season, and so you want to try it as hard as you can, but right here, maybe just a little too much knock on. So now it's the Chiefs' ball. They work it through a couple of phases tight here. That might just be about all she wrote, with 2 scores being needed by Boston. It's a tall order with only a minute left.
Yeah, and we move into the time where the referee's watch is the one that we really care about. Our clock, of course, is an estimate, but Oceanside will have completed the comeback of this tournament so far, and they're going to kick it into touch so they know that there is no more time left. My goodness, Oceanside Chiefs getting it done in the second half, 34-25. And they move into the championship, which will be played tomorrow at 1 o'clock Central. Let's take a look at some of this action that led us here.
So Boston starts on the front foot right here. Ronan Griffin with one of his 2 intercept tries, getting him started off right with only 30 seconds in. You see here to end the first.
The moment you have all been waiting for has finally arrived. The first rugby game that allows you to play and get rewards is now live. Step into tournaments, be the ultimate manager, earn free jerseys and match tickets. It is the heart of rugby, now in digital glory. Build your strategy using real player cards. It's your game, your moves. Buy, trade, play and create your lineup. For cards, your legacy. Experience rugby like never before. Take your fantasy rugby experience to the next level. Join Overlay.
There might be some dark days, and who have you relied on, and who's been sort of your support system to get you through those times?
For me, especially with this whole process, has been
Welcome back. The 2024 Club National Championships USA Club Rugby. You're going to do this 15th weekend. Miami Tridents are over the Indy Impalas by quite a bit. The winner of this game faced the Oceanside Chiefs, who just dispatched of the Boston Irish Wolfhounds on the other field. So a lot to play for here, but a big hill to climb for this Indy Impalas team if they want to get there. This is John Broker with Great American Rugby. It is Lance Kavanaugh. Lance, I know you know a lot about Miami, but what does Indy need to do to get back into this?
Indy has always used their defensive abilities to stop and get turnovers as their way to stay in games. This game has gotten a little bit out of hand early in the first half. Not insurmountable. I've seen bigger deficits overcome, but they have to find a way to slow down this set-piece attack by Miami and find a way to keep Miami's fullback Francisco from having open field opportunities, because he's been slicing and dicing through the first 40 minutes uncontrollably.
Referee Khalil Harrison gets us going. Indy is going to be running from right to left on your screen. Lance said big hill to climb for them. Tridents up 24-0. Good start there right away. Referee having a couple of words. Taking their time, going to put it down to the corner, try to use some of the big fellas. They need tries. They need 5-pointers, not threes. Renfell trying to gamely buy himself a little bit of room for an angle here. Does not, so just going to put it down. It will be a line out here for the Indian Impalas. Five-man line out, just waiting for the ball. Levi Kinney. Put this one in. Miss to the front, go to the middle. Test there from Miami, but good rumble coming here from Indy. Temple moves it out. Out in the middle of the field. Defense coming on. Player just slips a little bit. Able to recycle. Quicker ball this time. Slips through the hand, gets just kicked up in the air. Looks like Sam Wells. Goes down into the hands of one of the Tridents players, but he's being driven back. Malcolm Pope getting in there wearing the number 20 jersey. Placement here for this Indy team. A couple of replacements in. I think they're just dealing this heat right now. Trying to get fresh legs in the field as much as they can as they go to the boot to the Tridents. Get it downfield. It's going to be another line out here for Indy. 25 meters out this time.
And the ample opportunity for Indy had a setup, missed time that blocker play that they ran in the middle of the field, tried to move it wide, errant pass. They got to tighten those bits up. They got to be able to play with clean ball in hand, because the platform set by the forwards off that line out was as good as you've asked for this afternoon. One of the best situations they had, and unfortunately couldn't make the best of it. Again, line out opposite side of the field.
Ball up, middle of the line out, comes down to Indy. Slips away, however, referee spots player offside, so it's a good penalty for the Tridents. Tridents, Escobar, happy to slow that one down. 24-0, Lance. You're just into this half here for Miami. But you have to be thinking just a little bit about tomorrow and trying to preserve some energy there. The Oceanside Chiefs are going to be waiting on the other side if they can maintain this lead. Miami, when do you start bringing in the subs?
Well, for Miami, it will have to happen somewhere after the 60th minute, 65th minute. Miami, over the course of their last title run last year, where they took top 3 in the nation, they were coming back on teams who were doing essentially the same thing, going up 18 points against the Tridents, and because the Tridents can score in a hurry, we're able to come back and win those games. They're not going to make that same mistake. I expect their players to be locked in completely, at least until the 65th minute before they start worrying about tomorrow's game.
Little move there from the Tridents. Doesn't go, so the ball comes back to Indy. Manu Kraus made a little mistake there for the Tridents. You see him come up and threw that one. We'll come back to the scrum, though. We're deep in their 22. Deep in their end of the field, I should say, inside the 22. Indy Impalas are going to have an opportunity here. A lot of work ahead of them.
Whole lot of work ahead of them, and they have to clean it up. As I said before, they just have to find a way to play a little bit more of that control ball that they played throughout the Midwest, throughout the Northern Gulf Coast Championship, and not worrying about the score line just yet. Just find ways to get down the field and get points. 3 points is good. 5 points is great. 7 is best, but just finding ways to get anything on the scoreboard is important.
Ball back there from number 8. They go to the boot. Are they going to find some green grass? They're looking for touch. Ball bounces. It's going to be a Tridents line out. Morello ready to go as always, but they're going to slow that one down. Little fake to the front, go to the middle. Hollis able to pull that one away. Ball bouncing across. From advantage here to Indy. Temple. Is out in the back. Runner coming short there. Can't quite hang on to it. Trident gets a boot to it. We're going to come back again for the knock on. Scrum to the Indy Impalas right at the 40-meter line.
I find myself repeating things that I've said before. But again, this is an ample opportunity. This space right here and the half gap and what it creates, an opportunity to move that Trident defense back. You can play fast from there and really go to the space and open side of the field, but unable to contain the ball there. And thankfully, there was a knock-on advantage that was already being played for them, and they don't lose possession.
Temple gets that one in. Keeping up, there's Schroeder. Penalty in there from the Impalas, trying to hold on to that one. Penalty for the Miami Tridents. Go for the points here. Just really kind of slowing things down this half, Lance.
Yeah, 27 points means that it would take 4 converted tries for them to take the lead, and that's just a bit of cushion that they would need in order to really start focusing on tomorrow's games. 4 tries is a big amount to overcome, especially as the clock ticks on. Beautiful decision by them. And let's get our kicker into a rhythm. Let him know that this weekend is about him too. If he knocks down a couple of kicks, it adds pressure to what Indy has to do to climb this mountain.
Come. Good look at the process there. Meyerowitz puts it up. Hanging high. Is going to find it. It will. Another 3 points here. 27. Miami Tridents confidently in the lead now in the second half. Kick off. Temple has the ball. Temple, another Indiana University player. Played at Marion High School as well. On the run are the Tridents. Tridents. Player into contact, gets to the ground, hauled into touch. Referee whistles. Going to be Indianapolis ball here. Eight minutes gone in this second half.
Tick, 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 tick. I believe Indy should be at the point now where they're moving with a little bit of urgency to these set pieces. They got to find a way to up the tempo for themselves and find a jolt.
Ball out here from Indy. Stepping back in, maybe not where you want to go. Running some of the big boys at him. Tridents make the tackle. Temple. Off to the left. Need to find some runners out wide. They look for that half gap again. Slide on through it. Player gets up and keeps going. Wasn't held. Referee Harrison says that's fine. Grenfell has the ball. Grenfell in the distributor role. Moves it out a little wider. Can't hang on to it. Ball scooped up by the Tridents. Can they go against a broken defense here? Defense should be fractured in this transition as they go back to the danger man, Ferrello. He puts it across the field. They get it all the way across, just about 4 passes there. The grass makes the tackle. Tough grass here in Austin, Texas, Lance. Ball up here from the Tridents. East Lucas, old man Lou puts that one in. Little step inside. There they go. That's a try scorer. That's Escobar, the scrum half. Escobar has been connecting everybody really well on this team. Ball gets knocked forward. It's going to be a scrum here to the Miami Tridents, or to the Indian Impalas, but another good pass to play for the Tridents.
And once Indy has any positivity, unfortunately just can't build the phases. They have to find a way to put 9 consecutive phases together against the Tridents. You're not causing any issues for the Tridents. And again, to give up a penalty off of talking to the referee is so undisciplined, shooting themselves in their foot.
Things are going badly enough now for the Indian Impalas. They don't need to lose a player to back chat there. Back to a penalty for Indy. Very even-handed referee here. He's not letting it get to him, but he's letting him know that much more of that's going to be trouble. Indy with a penalty just about 10 meters out from their own line.
And at this point, 50 minutes into a semifinal matchup for a chance to play for a national championship, no one can take any blame except for Indy in the way that this game has persisted. Unable to connect when it was time to. Consecutive penalties, 2 penalties in the first half and in the second half, but back chat to the referee. It's soundly undisciplined, and it's making it as hard as it is for them because they're playing against a Trident team who have a date with destiny. They're determined to get back to a championship game for what happened to them last year. Now Indy is opening the door for them.
Ball kicked around, knocked a couple different directions. Assistant referee is going to say it's a line out here for the Tridents. 11 minutes go on in this second half. Game against the Oceanside Chiefs on the line. So Lance, Florida Rugby seems to be making just, great strides there. Good programs, good high schools, good clubs, winning some national champions. Are they really on the rise down there in Florida as much as it looks? You're the expert.
As much as it looks, yes, Florida Rugby is definitely on the rise, even though there seems to be more hot spots than a giant cohesive group moving forward. You have the Tridents in Miami, South Florida, who found success that we're watching do domination. Earlier today, Tampa Crew women were playing exceptionally well. A few years ago, Palm Beach won the Nationals. There is growth, but here go the Tridents yet again, showing that there is growth in the D2 side as well.
Petinari leading the way right there. Yeah, you do have Miami with the Major League Rugby team, some good high school down there. The Okapi Wanderers, a high school club team ranked highly in the country. St. Thomas University starting a full-time program, so seems to be some pretty good stuff. These clubs will continue to benefit from that.
And the benefit is you get guys that trickle down to the club game, being able to play in academy situations with the Sharks. The Miami Tridents themselves being able to play against some of those Shark Academy players. And these tries at Miami are scoring as simple as you like. There is no sophisticated approach. They're just playing straightforward physical rugby. When a turnover happens, they find the space as a team and attack it with absolute tremendous energy. This is the same team last year who fell short against Boise. They knew how important this game meant to them, and they're showing it every second, every minute.
kick to come here, taking their time. Miami Tridents extending their lead. Rifles it into the building here, the Round Rock Multipurpose Complex. Another 2 points on the board for the Tridents, and Indy see the clear frustration there. Other players in no hurry to come out.
And I mean, these tries are just as simple as you like for Tridents. They haven't really had to go deep into their offensive attack bag. They've been able to play as about as straightforward as possible. And they have an almost insurmounting lead with an opportunity to really rest up for tomorrow. That was one thing I was worried about. Will they do it too soon?
Kickoff goes, ball comes in. Going to be an Indy line out here. Just found some green grass, and one of the Tridents players just pushed it in a touch. Ball up. You can tell. You can just see the body language there. Indy is not terribly excited about being here at the moment. Player's not even lifting there. So they're going to go quick. However, they get the penalty. Schroeder doesn't look like he wants to stop. Schroeder, the number 8, the stalwart of his team, 33-year-old from Westville, Indiana, electrical engineer. Big runs coming in, trying to power their way. As I say, they don't look like they have much interest. It'll look like they've sparked a little bit here. Pick and goes. Going in tight against this Tridents team. And they put 5 on the board before the 55-minute mark, where we're at right now. Looking out wide. Pick and go again. Coming in. Another opportunity here. Player just keeping it in tight. Which way are they going to go? This is Schroeder. Schroeder digs it out. Schroeder. Body comes a little high. Can't burrow his way in. Temple. Getting his players organized, and into the try zone they go. A first try reward at 55 minutes for the Indy Impalas. They narrow the lead just slightly, 35.
Signs of life from Indy. And right when we really have noticed the body language of Indy, we've seen them slow to line out, slow to scrums, the frustrating in their approach, back talk to the referees, and finally in the 55th minute, they found a way to lean on their forward pack, pick and go, going quick off of the penalty that was forced. And good job by Indy. Is it too soon to call for a comeback, John? Could this be it? Could this be the start of something?
You were pointing out that the Indy players were just slowing down there and not looking like too much together. And they came back and scored a try, so all credit to them here. There's a lot of time left. A comeback for the ages in this kind of heat. Temple slots that one, so 34-7.
$27 points is all they need in order to get through it. And you could argue that might not have been a try. It could have been a baby knock there going in. But you need the bounce of the ball. You need the referee on your side. Any points is good points. But on the way down, the ball just leaves his hands. I don't know. We need a TMO.
I think he's all right there. I think he's got the hands on the ball there. Leo Harrison was right there. Doesn't seem the kind of ref, particularly after the back shot, that's going to just give a little there. Ball up. Hollis. Ball in hand. 27 points needed. Now they're starting to make a little break here. Are the Tridents starting to relax just a little bit too early? Serrano holds that one up for the Tridents. Temple. Another set of forwards. Waiting pod there. Quicker ball. Here it comes from Temple. Runners across. Again, cutting back in. Just thought it was working for him. A little switch this time. Player nearly caught around the head there, but moving like a boxer trying to get in under that tackle. Dummy runner coming in. Can they get this wider? They do. Hope. Or not Hope on the outside there. Wolf. Ball coming across. Held by Temple. Temple this time gets Pope. Wriggle his way out of some contact there. Thrown like a rag doll to the ground as Pope. Referee blows his whistle. See what the call is here. Look at the high tackle here, Lance.
This is one thing Miami needs to end right now. The last thing you want is for a game to be to the circumstances that it is now. You got a big lead. Everything lends to you going to play for a big matchup tomorrow, and someone gets a red or an unfortunate yellow that can affect what happens tomorrow. Got to stay disciplined all the way through. 80 minutes is the key. Got to keep those tackles low.
Indy takes that one down clean. Not engaged there by this Miami defense, so have to have a go. They certainly are happy to. Temple moves it wide. That space can open up. Little pop pass there, and it does. Good run here from Ryan Barton. Barton held up eventually. He's up in the air from this Miami defense. Now a little pick here, looking for more points. They're over the try line, or are they? Referee Khalil Harris in a spot. Good defense there. Tridents turn that player around. This time can they get in? And they have. It's another try right into the post here. It's 34-12. It could come just about at the 60-minute mark here, Lance. Did we jinx ourselves?
We might have. I mean, 20 points in 20 minutes is doable. That is a very large amount of time. 20 minutes in rugby is a lifetime. What a half gap to get through there. And this run, and great try-saving tackle by the fullback, Francisco, again. And they go right to the pick and goes. It's been showing greatness for them. Great jobs by Andy. They have shown life, and I love to see it. 1-7.
Absolutely. The arm assist by trade. Number 13, Ryan Barton makes a big break. Pharmacy. We're going to go to a water break here, a hydration break in the hot sun. We'll come back on the cards here for this Indy team. Should be interesting. We have 20 more minutes to go. Stay with us.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network. Join myself, Alex Corbacero, and Will Hooley as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show.
From college rugby, Premiership Women's Rugby, MLR, and more, we've got you covered.
Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
Come along for the ride as we bring you the Rugby Rundown.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America. It's rugby time, America.
We are here to make the fast food business faster. With just one generous lick. Oh, sorry. There we go. Taste ID will create exactly the combo you would like to eat.
How do you know our customers will like it?
Like it? They're gonna lick it.
Nice.
Get a technology partner that knows your business and your consumers. Globant, technology that really dares to delight.
Welcome
back. We have 20 minutes to go. It was all Miami Tridents for 60 minutes. for 50 minutes, I'd say. And it's been 2 tries here for the Indian Impalas. Are they getting momentum? It is John Brugwood, Lance Kavanaugh bringing these last 20 minutes. Lance, how you feeling about this?
I'm feeling that the momentum is starting to twist and turn a little bit. Miami Tridents had themselves in a great situation to maybe start packing it in later in this matchup, giving themselves the opportunity to rest guys for the big matchup tomorrow. But got to keep the first thing first after the Impalas added 2 tries in back-to-back succession.
There's some big runners barreling through there for Indy. They want to take this team on. That's the kind of hits you're going to look for from the Tridents. Getting away. Lucas has to make that tackle. Trying to hold this Indian Impalas player in the air, but cannot. Parsons, placement front row. Temple looking for a runner. Temple, did that ball go forward? Referee's okay with it. Here comes Indy. Indy, player on his own, passes mistakenly to Mateo Velasquez. That one's kicked forward. A bit messy, however. Good work. Another break there. A little momentum from Indy. Knocked on in the end. It's going to be a scrum here for the Tridents.
The scrum here for the Tridents, and the Tridents are very happy with that. Good night after the bounce of the ball. A situation that even in myself looked like it could have been forward. It could have been a knock. Referee says play on. And Indy almost had an absolute great try out of nothing. But Miami able to stop the rain. And I believe we have time off for injury. I can't be sure.
Yeah, it looks like a little injury here. We just had the water break. Be a scrum to the Tridents. Player from Indy just down, being attended to at the moment. Dodge over him right now. An organizer for USA Rugby. Showing it there. Good work there. Does a lot of work with Atlantis as well.
Excuse my language. Yeah.
Coming across here from the Tridents. Tridents, ball in hand. Big run there, Perello. Perello holds it. He always makes some ground. Slips through a couple. Eventually gets tackled. Ship up to himself there from one of the Tridents forwards. On the move they are. Ball back in hand finally. Can they make a break here? Trident so electric for the first 55 minutes of this. 65 almost gone. Try score there from Indy. Tridents regain the momentum. Little dummy runner there. Space opens up in the middle. Player, great work from Indy to turn that one over there. They draw the penalty in the tackle. What an individual tackle and get to the feet effort there from that Indy player. Just tremendous.
Exceptional. And that was they were outnumbered. It looked like a 3-on-1, forcing the attacker to see the space in front of him. And up, Boston in play.
Right down into the hands of one of the Indian Impala players. Big collision coming. Temple finds a runner. Little tip pass. It's hit the ground. What can they do? Martin just chips that one ahead. Space is open in the back. Covering across there, Perello. It was Myrowitz, not Perello. Got not a lot of support with them. These Indy players really digging in there. Is that legal? Referee Harrison says indeed it was, but ripped again from the Tridents, but illegally so. Ball here for this Indy team. Ball was thrown away by the Tridents. Referee didn't seem to see it. Players pleading their case. Referee Khalil Harrison having none of it.
Yeah, and that's just a great tackle. It looks like Looks like he was halfway in the gate, halfway out, had hands on ball. I know better than to go against a referee's call. He called it clean, and now Indy on the doorstep, 20 points down with about 14 minutes left. They have to find a way to get points here in immediate fashion. 3 converted tries gets them the win, and the way their defense has been playing, it's shown up for them on multiple occasions recently.
Ball to Indy, ripped down by this Miami Tridents team. They're pretty savvy around that lineout. Kinney takes it in. They can go. They're in the corner here, so this will be hard to convert, but look at the drive and intent there from this Indy team. More try here, and you start to think differently. Penalty for Indy. Indy is just not going to waste any time. Temple's going to go right away. Ball there, splits it in the middle, and Indy is going to get in under the post. Indy has scored again. That is an excited player right there. Chucks it down for his kicker. Will get that jersey number. The Indy Impalas have changed the equation with 12 minutes to go, 12 or 13.
You know, that snowball analogy I used earlier might actually be losing some of its momentum. I think the heat has melted that snowball, just like you said. Indy with 3 consecutive tries after being down 34 points to 0 have found a way to score 3 back-to-back converted tries to cut the lead from 34 to 0 to 21 to 34. And this has just been an amazing effort. I don't know where they decided to lock in. They've stopped worrying about the refs so much and just started playing aggressive, straightforward, forward-dominating rugby that Indy's been known for throughout the year. And you can see from the energy, they are revived. He's scoring 2 tries, putting the ball down twice. Amazing bit of play from the Impalas. And you can see the pep in their step is there. Their chin is up.
That's Stephen Okoro, number 22, the 35-year-old in Nigeria. Ford engineer. This is the biggest wingspan to height ratio in the team. They call him Daddy Longlegs. Scores that try. High in the air. Impalas looking to come down with this, and they do. 34-21. 11 and a half minutes on the game clock. Excitement building here in Round Rock. Taking a while for them to wake up as they were talking about the Impalas, but they seem to be wide awake right now. All is fine, referee says. Going to come back for a penalty against the Tridents. This fade away a bit from the Tridents here, Lance. This is quite a momentum game for this Indy Impalas team at the moment as Grenfell puts that one out.
Really what we're seeing, John, is just a flip of discipline. In the first half and the early parts of the second half, Indy were the undisciplined team, unable to keep ball in hand, unable to build phases, getting penalties for talk back to the referee, found themselves in deep trouble. Now the flip side, we've seen the Tridents with multiple penalties. The Tridents not having defensive integrity. This game has turned very intriguing over the last 5 minutes.
Ball up, well taken by the number 8. Schroeder seems to be an inspirational player for this team. They're looking for that space in the middle. Did they find it? Not quite. They're going to have to get that ball back. Good work by the Tridents to try to get in there. Did they rip it away? Knock-on creeps in. Just needed quicker support. Did the Impalas. Good work, Tridents, in their scrum.
Yeah, and that's the defense of the Tridents stepping up for them right when they needed it the most. That ball put through the tackle here. Great tackle. Blake getting in there. The long stretch to find a way to get the ball to his team's side, but a great job getting over the poach and on taking the ball away, knocked it on just a bit. The Tridents can play tactically and kick to the corners, or do they want to keep ball in hand as best as possible?
See what happens here. Big hit. Start a little bit of a push early. They're going to get the ball back. It's not going to be a problem. It's going to be Escobar. Runners coming in for the Tridents. Good tackle by Indy. Time for the defense to regather. Escobar calling for something from the ref. Ball was taken away. Dropped on the ground. It seemed like it was knocked on there. That Impalas player was just trying to poof it away. A little bit of a mistake rather than keep the ball in hand. So another scrum at the 71-minute mark, 9 minutes of the game clock. Game against Oceanside Chiefs on the line.
And this is exactly what you need. Tick, tick, tick. Miami Tridents are loving this stoppage of play. Anytime to let the clock just roll just a little bit more. And Impalas somehow getting that steal away and just squandering that opportunity. They've been getting hand on ball in bunches over this last 15 minutes, John.
Ball is out for the Tridents. They put it in the middle of the field. We've seen how dangerous these runners can be, and that it is right there. Step inside, trying to break away. Desperate defense here from Indy. They made it happen. Escobar right there. They've got some runners out wide. Trying to step back in. Runs out of field. There's Kraus. They're at the line right now. Kraus, you can see the try line. Can they get it in? Is he in? Referee, haven't heard the whistle yet. Is it a knock-on? Referee is going to, or assistant referee, we will hold out and listen in.
Hat trick or knock-on? Hat trick or knock on is the question, and that looks like a clean try. I don't know where the argument is. Oh, no. He knocked
Not
it.
according to the assistant referee there. Looks like that ball was knocked forward, so at their own 5-meter line.
Yeah, in the replay you can see he doesn't have full possession on the way down. Great call. Hat trick and a chance to put the game away, unable to be converted. And now Impalas, deep in their own end, have to battle down the length of the field to get back 13 points with 8 minutes left. Oh my God, this game.
The Impala scrum half has the ball here. So this is not scoring a try, is Impala's scrum. Knock on in the try zone. A little thrown by that. There must have been an initial knock on from Indy that gave him an advantage there. It's the only thing I could think of, Lance.
Yeah, I don't understand how the circumstances got to where they at.
Has to be an initial knock on somewhere here from the Impalas that they were playing an advantage off of. It's the only thing I can think. Let's see what comes here. We got the live shot, we got the replay here.
Yeah,
Just through a tape. Yeah, there's a little knock on there, so occasionally I am as smart as I think. A penalty, free kick against the Impalas. Sorry, against the Tridents, the Impalas. A lot of room to go here, 8 minutes.
Side.
Referee whistles again. Players in from the side. They're not back 10 as well. So we're going to have a penalty here. Full penalty. What do they go for? Another short up penalty. Start. That was not 10. Need to run it. If they don't, it's going to be a line out to the Tridents. They just get the ball in hand. Levi Kinney, happy to do the work. Levi Kinney from Jackson, Mississippi. He's a chef by trade. That one's turned over there. Gets the ball into the hands of Rob Lara. Knock on. A couple of them. We're going to come back. It's going to be a scrum here for the Miami Tridents. As you keep saying, Lance, this clock playing a factor right now. Every second that ticks away is a big favor to this Miami Trident side. Big foe of Indy.
Tick, 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 tick. Every moment, every second is a triumph for the Tridents. They're making substitutions and getting fresh players in there. But this game is so not over. Indy, the cardiac kids of this year's championship series, have found themselves back into this game with less than 6 minutes left. Everyone's looking at the clock.
Big push from Indy. They're trying to draw a penalty here. They cannot. Tridents, good work to get that away. Did that hole open up? It's there for Escobar. Escobar offloads it. This looks like the Tridents of the first 50 minutes of the game. Break there coming in from the fella Costa. E. Handle out, ball ripped away, interception. Big break coming here for Indy. Doesn't slip forward. Where's that call? Referee Khalil Harrison is going to bring it back. It'll be a penalty against the Indy Impalas.
Yeah, it might have been offside. And not from the guy who intercepted it, actually from another player who was trying to retreat back and got in the way of the ball. Forced the scrum half to hold on to the ball just a little bit more. And after that lengthy little bit of ball carrying, passed it right to the opposition. Khalil right on top of that. As the Tridents look like they're going to go for post here.
Good move by the Tridents. Add some more points on that board. Take some more time off of the clock. That near interception there would have been good work by the Tridents.
And the story of this game would have completely changed if ball is still in play from that interception. As you can see, that offload was tremendous, by the way, as well. But as you can see, when a Scrum half picks the ball up from the base of that rug. Number 11, Good Night, finds itself in the way and just delays the ball carrier's ability to really move the ball. He had to make a decision there and tuck it just to get around and through Good Night. And the referee was right on top of it.
Kick coming here from Miami. All momentum has been to Indy, and it will remain there as that one sails to the right. Time is short here, but Indy will be game for it. About 6 minutes on the game clock. The referee has the ultimate time. Renfell goes long. Miami. Was that a penalty there? A referee on the spot. Ball's gone back. Doesn't say it was. Tridents are in numbers on defense. Pope trying to do what he can to clean that ball off. Well, pick around the back there. Otto again. Having to go to the boot now. That ball downfield, rolls in a touch. Miami, I would imagine, will take their time here. Players calling for an obstruction call there on Perello. Not going to get it.
And I mean, Miami have found a way to cool the speed and cool what was going on with Indy. And this is a bit of a wake-up call for them. They got to coast through this next 5 minutes and not give up any points. But they definitely have had to resurface their focus.
Indy put it wide, ball up and over, well handled there. A little step to the outside, chip through. Is it going to be regathered here? It does. Perello, dangerous when he needs to be, safe when he has to be. Gets that one in touch. It's going to be a line out here for the Indy Impalas, but time is rolling away. Just about 4 minutes and 10 seconds on the game clock.
Did you see that catch? One-handed and the move. Oh my goodness. Good night. Good morning, and trip on the kick. I'm not sure. Did he leave his foot behind? Nah, that looked a bit incidental.
There.
And that looked a bit incidental. Yeah, that's a bit incidental. They both kind of just tripped over each other's feet. But what a catch and run by Good Night.
Tridents under pressure in their own end. Players down on the ground. Miami Tridents players asking for the call, and they get it, as they asked. Good call there by Khalil Harrison. 3.5 minutes. Maybe too little time here for Indy. See Luis Lucas, old man Lou, down on the ground. They need him for this lineout. And a winner of this one plays the Oceanside Chiefs tomorrow. At the end of the game, we'll give you all of tomorrow's schedule. Not much time here, Lance, but I'm still on the edge of my seat here with the performance from Indy in the second half.
Yeah, if only they could have brought this out earlier, sometime in the middle of the first half. Found a way to really shut down this Trident team. They have been really threatening left and right and playing to their level. The timing of it makes an intriguing matchup, but man, they're gonna think that they didn't leave it all on the field.
They have the ball, however, on the ground, but knocked on in there. It's gonna be a scrum here for the Miami Tridents. 2.5 minutes, time ticking away. Placements in for both teams.
Not thrown straight, but just off that left hand of that Impalas player, right to his teammate. Referee's right on top of it. Excellent job. And Tridents, tick, 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 time off the clock. Have found a way to smolder the momentum of this Impala side. Put up 3 tries in quick succession.
Tridents, all across the 50. Little switch back in. Gonna keep it tight for these last couple minutes, possibly. They'll play their game. Manuel Kraus in there, a little offload out the back. The space opens up. Where is it going to happen here? Can it happen for this Tridents team again? Ball slips over the back. Escobar has it. Escobar has been excellent throughout this game. Would be well rewarded with a try, but it's going to find the touchline instead. It's the ball to Indy. Minute and 15 seconds to go. Schroeder wants to keep playing. Ball was blocked there. But there was a knock on originally. We'll come back for a scrum. Players are just gassed in this heat right now. Championship game tomorrow for them is 1 p.m. Central. It gets hotter in Austin down here in the later afternoon. Neil Harrison just having some words here late in the game. Minute to go on the game clock. Players have been cleaned up blood. John Kucinich. Box. There. Escobar. That boy off the field for a little time here. He's a key member of this team. We need him for tomorrow. Good night. Could just be a cramp there, Lance. You need Escobar tomorrow.
I mean, if we're lucky, we get the cramp. If we're lucky, he's back with us for that championship game. We need to see this Trident team at full strength because they have the firepower.
Big push coming in from the Tridents. On their own try line are the Impalas. They would like to go the distance. Nice breakaway there. Does he have the gas? He's got some defenders to deal with. Late tackles coming in there, but they seem to be okay unless the referee's going to pull this one back. Referee blows the whistle. We might have penalty here. Maybe Indy penalty. Where they kicked it or where it landed? Maybe where it landed. 20 seconds, 15 seconds actually on the game clock. Looking to the look here, Lance. Walk us through it.
Yeah, he got the ball off on that kick, and they still decided to bring him down. I'm not sure if it's where the ball lands or where it stopped dribbling, but they were able to gain a lot of meterage in that. And if it can somehow score in early fashion, we might have more time on the clock. There's been a lot of injury time and slowdown.
There has been. We are at the 80-minute mark right now. Temple comes across, gets the ball out there to Zach Douglas. Douglas gets the ball to the ground. The Impalas need quick points here. Little chip through there for Temple, but right into the hands of the Tridents. Not what you want. Tridents have some runners. Switch it back inside. There's a full open field with one runner coming in. They have 3 or 4 on one. It winds up in the Impalas' hands. That is a bit of an error here for the Trident. Trident players up over the head. Ball coming down for Indy. Indy's still alive. Schroeder just everywhere, this number 8. Active and involved for this Indy team. Ball out. Big tackle in there. Robert Parsons on the ground. Another pick and go, another big tackle. Ball just slipped in behind. They're still good. Zach Douglas has a hold of it. Just throwing the ball to the sideline there. Looking for another player. They need to get a little structure here to the Impalas. Players just loading it up. Cramps. Fatigue, you name it out here. They're coming across field. Players getting a little flat-footed. A break here. Lots of tackles on the shirts here from the Tridents when they need to be. The referee comes back. Penalty back across the field. No advantage materializing there. Break off the back here for Indy. That high tackle on Pope, not intentional. Referee offers a penalty. Wants to slow down here. Potentially get a card. Been enough of these, so it's pretty blatant, but I still don't think intentional. Referee looked at the wrong team there. Looked like he was nearly sending Pope. He caught himself in Khalil Harrison. Just a pretty blatant high tackle. I still don't think anything too much in it, to be honest.
Oh my goodness. I mean, the face hug, I guess, is a yellow card. I'm not mad at it, but I believe this will be the end of the game right here.
Referee sees that knock on. As you said, there was some injury time there, so we're a minute and a half in. We'll see what he says. Coaching his translator. Ball in, big drive from Indy. They want to lay penalty here. They want the ball back. They do get the ball back. Indy taking it away at that scrum, a rarity. Schroeder. Done so much work that just give him a try at this point. Yellow card to Miami. One less player on the field. And without Escobar. Temple moves it across field. Gonna try to get through the gap there. Another high tackle. Moving that ball out to the wing. They've got a couple of runners out here. It's a 3-on-1 with some crossing runners. Or decides not to pass just to give the offload. Looking for it there. Pushes it back. Morello again. Morello dancing right there. And the ball goes in a touch. Referee looks at his watch and whistles us for the end of the match there. It is going to be a 34-21. Miami Tridents have advanced. And they will face the Oceanside Chiefs tomorrow. Lance, before we talk about tomorrow's schedule, final thoughts on this one.
Miami Tridents jumped out of the barn storming, got up big, 34 points unanswered, but somewhere along the lines lost their focus, gave back 21. That is a great wake-up call for that championship tomorrow. They're going to play a full 80 when tomorrow comes around. Great job by them and great season by the Indianapolis Impalas. Congratulations to both teams.
It is the USA Club Rugby National Championship 15's weekend. It is taking place in Austin, Texas, and tomorrow is championship day. On Field 1 at 11 a.m. Central, you're going to have the Women's D2 Championship, Phoenixville versus Tampa. At 1 o'clock on Field 1 Central Time, you're going to have this team, Miami the Tridents, taking on the Oceanside Chiefs for a Division II title. And on Field 2, you're going to have the Men's D3 Championship at 10 a.m. Central, the Austin Blacks versus Volusia County. At noon Central, it's the Women's D1 Championship, Lady Vipers of Utah versus Nova. And rounding it out at 2 p.m. Central on Field 2, the Men's D1 Championship between the St. Louis Bombers and Belmont Shore. We're going to bring you all that action on the Rugby Network, Next Level Rugby Productions, USA Club Rugby, here at the Round Rock Multi-Purpose Complex. But that is it for day 2. All of our technical crew and our broadcasters, for Lance Cavanaugh, I am John Broker. We will see you on Sunday.
Never fold, Bay Road, on the go, ice Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, if they pretend, they must have been. I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. Came for my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, if they pretend, they must have been. I get it in, I get it in, I get it in. I miss my baby, so I hit them on the FaceTime. I need it all for them, so no, I cannot waste time. Facing these oceans, feel the water on my waistline. We trust the process and my only know it takes time. You can get it, got no worries, I'm gon' make mine. Going global, I'ma get it out the state lines. Paying taxes at a more than what you make now. Different bracket, eating off a different plate now. For my wins, I need my ends. This life is real, if they pretend, came off the bench. I get it in, I get it in.